Good evening and welcome back to Dumfries Ice Bowl for the quarter-finals of the Mixed Doubles Championship. It's on at the Ice Bowl this weekend. Joined this evening by David Owen.
Evening, Kenny.
The game we're bringing you tonight is the Estonian team against the Hungarian team. And I'm not even going to go into pronunciations, David. I think we'll just call it.
Yeah, I was gonna have a go, but we'll maybe leave it till later in the game.
Just the first end just underway. The first stone there, which looks fairly good.
Yeah, and I would say we've had a swap of colours straight away, just to confuse things slightly. So the team with the highest draw shot had pick of stones and hammer, I think, Kenny. So we put them in curling zone and we've got it wrong. So that should be right now. So the Estonians playing the blue stones have the hammer. Hungarians with the yellow stones.
Good standard of curling up to this stage, David, in the pool games.
Yeah, it's been excellent. I would say it's the highest quality field we've had here at Dumfries. 18 teams, 3 groups of 6. We should have actually had an extra group of 6, but we had 6 Chinese teams. Had visa issues at the last moment, so we didn't get them, unfortunately. Hopefully we have them next year. I believe they're already booked in for next year.
So we've got a year to get a visa to get into.
We've got a year to get them sorted.
Everything could be completely different by then anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
we're not going into that tonight.
We could miss most of the game if we go into that tonight. So no, I think the standard's been excellent, and I don't see these quarter-finals being any different, really. Some phenomenal shot making, and the nature of mixed doubles. If you've never seen or watched a game of mixed doubles, I'll take you through the rules as we go tonight. If you do know the rules, correct us when we get them wrong.
A rule book sitting in front of us.
We have. Yeah, it was dropped off yesterday, which probably means we must have got them home at some point.
Quite a few folk in here at the Ice Bowl tonight to watch the games as well.
Yeah, it's been busy all day. We'll switch cameras, we'll have a wee look around the place. Again, if you've never seen Dumfries Ice Bowl, get an idea of what the surroundings are like.
As you can see already, there's no need for someone to stand in the head. You just pick your spot where you think you're going to deliver the stone, and sometimes they do stand in the head depending on what kind of stone they're playing. But the Estonians here right away must be a draw shot they're playing. They've got a sweeper.
Yeah, different teams like to do different things with that.
Also, teams play different formations. Whoever plays the first stone plays the last stone out of the 5, and the other player plays the middle 3.
Yeah, so as I say, if you're new to this, there's actually 6 stones in play, but the first one starts in a set position. One as a guard and one at the back of the forefoot. The other 5 stones are played, and as Kenny says, one player plays stone number 1 and 5, and the other plays 2, 3 and 4. And you can alternate just to confuse us completely.
You can actually change during the game.
Yeah, you can. Obviously not during the end, but at the end of each end you can change. You can choose to give hammer away, although it very rarely happens.
And also the power plays come in possibly in the latter stages of the game.
Yeah, teams, unless they go behind quickly, tend to save them. I was having an interesting chat with some other teams about how they use them and how they've seen opposition use them, so we'll cover that when we get to a power play. It's easier to describe when you can see it, I find.
Stone set up.
Yeah. So I would say this is very much a typical mixed doubles end. It's a race to the forefoot to start off with. You're also not allowed to hit until the 4th played stone.
As you can see already, the blues are at the front of the house, which gives the Hungarians a wee bit of a problem. So I think if they hit one of them blues, I think they're going to go straight back onto their own yellow. I don't think that's checked.
It might just be checked. The camera angle, I think, is a little bit deceiving there. There's not much gap between them anyway.
I do that. No, it does show you the yellow guard out front. That looks a little bit slow. And
both teams have had a 5-minute practice before this game as well.
I think I'm correct here, David. I think actually yellow might be line shot in there.
I think it must be with a guard going on there. I think it must be.
Looking out the window anyway, the yellow seems to be lying quite close to the centre line, in the centre of the house. Yeah, quite a bit in it when you see it in the overhead.
Yeah, we've got the advantage of other cameras, so we'll just put that camera up to let you see it. You can see there line 1, and I think them blues are slightly checked, aren't they? I think you can drive the blue back, but I'm not convinced you can get to the nose. I think the one on the
left-hand side might be more drivable. I think that's the one that's been guarded.
Yeah, it's as you can see there, that's the one that's guarded, so...
So I think the Estonians have decided what they're going to do. Might just play a gentle weight here and nudge the blue on the left hand side forward, hopefully. But as David said, I think it could be slightly checked, but it might not go back onto the yellow.
It's just about creating a shot as well. I think you've got to move something. The choice is either move the guards or try and make a play, but if you move the guard goes back on. If they think the left hand blue goes, then moving the guards, you've got 2 stones you can promote back to that yellow. We do have last stone as well, so stones away, and it's not I think we're peeling guards.
He'll do guards, but I think he's maybe left his own blue stone.
First end though. Okay, it's not ideal losing a 1, but you can take a run at that to score 3. And the hitting power of these guys is quite impressive.
So expect the Hungarians just to put another guard on.
I think so, but they're going to have to be just a wee bit careful. Yeah, I think I don't mind that call. Take both the blues out. Lie 2. At least that way you're not running. I think the problem with sticking a guard on, if you miss it, it's hard to cover the raise and the straight back, so they must think that blue travels back to the yellow. What they don't want to do is hit the guard.
Now that releases the one on the right hand side, and that's the one we think that will go to the yellow. It's definitely going to go to the yellow when looking at the other pictures.
Without a doubt.
Is this actually the last stone at the end? Oh, there's 3 stones to come.
That's a question we ask an awful lot when we do these games.
It's not easy to keep.
How many stones have we got left? I think there's 2 blues left to come.
I think there's 2 blues and 1 yellow.
Because I think there's only 1 blue through the back, so...
I think there is, because I think the Stoning girl started. That's just overdrawn as well.
Might get a result though. No, this is it. And I would suspect they may have another go at the double here. My initial thought was the double.
I would say a draw right to the button.
But again, if you don't get right in there, you would have a double for a 4.
No double on.
No set in the blue.
I think they're going to draw the shot. That's my... Well, them 2 blues are not coming anywhere near the yellow. In case you're wondering, we're looking at 2 pictures here. We've actually got the overhead 1 picture as well, which might be slightly confusing.
That's why we play the double, I think, because you would leave yourself... To be fair, you're not going to sit second shot, are you? You're going to be sitting
and you're
third shot.
And you're opening up the yellow. I think he'll draw either to guard his own yellow shot or right on the face of it. But again, that's leaving it slightly. If you don't get it right, and leave the Estonians with an easier hit with their last stone.
So again, typical mixed doubles, absolutely at it from the first end. You're right, Kenny is going for the... We should get a good finish on this. The ice has been swinging nicely all weekend. You want this to tuck in a wee fraction more though. It's there.
It's definitely there, just a bit straight back. I'll not knit both yellows out, and there's a possibility of a 4 at the first end. I think...
and it's a shot to nothing.
Nothing to lose.
It can't... There's no way you could jam that yellow. So yeah, have a go at it. I have to admit, it's quite handy that the teams are colour coordinated tonight.
Yes, that's perhaps why they changed colours.
Maybe.
Just over curled there slightly, another inch, another side, and she'd cut both yellows out of there. But again, the art of mixed doubles get stones in the house.
It's a wee touch unlucky, but
so the Hungarians pick up a 1 at the first end, take an early lead. So there's some other games going at the same time. We've got 4 quarter-finals on. You can just about see two games either side of us there. We've got Fowler and Fowler against Wright and Waddle.
This English pair taking a 1 in the first there. You see the scores ticking through on the bottom of your screen. Not quite sure what's going on in D. Ramsfell and Mafadjan, I think, against Roop and Wunderlin, and the Swiss team have taken a 1.
Yes,
to start that
one
one
to
off.
the bottom of the board. Second stone at the second end of the Estonian pair. This one looks to be just a bit smack on, just depending on the weight. But
a small mistake by the Hungarian pair, that yellow stone. I didn't see which way it went. I'm not sure if it's overcurled or undercurled.
Undercurled, it's sat out.
Last quarter final, we haven't mentioned a local game actually. Faye Henderson and James Craig against Jane Stirling and Fraser Kingan. Henderson and Craig taking a 2 in the first end.
Yellow stone this time. If he just finishes, it's right on top of the blue.
That's how to take 2 blues out of the equation in one easy lesson.
I think you'll see the change in aspects of mixed doubles here, because I think both teams are playing in different formations.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Estonians, the girls playing first and last. But the Hungarians are doing it the other way around. And some players keep that formation regardless, and others swap it. Change end to end.
Yeah. Depending if you're up in a game, you can use that defensively or aggressively, depending on how your score is at that time. So I think the Estonians are just looking to come down onto that yellow, but probably move the backing away. So back 8, back 12 weight,
just enough to. Even hanking the guard here wouldn't be a bad thing to.
I think he'll be looking to get past the guard this time, but he's not. Maybe just down in weight a little bit.
It would have been heavy enough to be hack weight. It would have sprung. Because he wanted to stick as well. He didn't want to rub off them.
No, it's. I think this is where the game differs a little bit from standard curling, if you like. So if you yellow, you're 1 up. Probably stick a guard up. You've not got last stone, centre line guard.
Basically putting an obstruction in the road.
Yeah.
To stop them getting.
If it's a slightly soft handle, maybe it's the indication, but no, that looks to be.
That's going to finish perfect.
I think that looks really nice. I think you're right. Absolutely perfect.
Do you think he could have taken the stone down there any better and lay it down?
No, I think that's exactly what they were after. Bit of a decision to be made here.
I think he possibly just put one right round now and kill the end.
Yeah, you've got last stones, so.
the last thing you want is to go 3-0 down in after 2 ends. So I think yellow's line 1, aren't they?
It's interesting. I mean, the right-handed player looks like he's coming in turn. Again, we've got several videos kicking about, but yeah, it's not big weight, so I think they are just trying to come around this guard. Same kind of shot, but just interestingly swapping to the other handle, and that'll all be about creating the angle on the stone that they hit.
By the guard this time.
Difficult to tell from this angle, but my gut reaction is that could have worked better for him.
They couldn't have got much closer to the guard.
No, and that yellow looks fairly stuck in there.
I think if you stick another one on top of it, they're not good, especially if you get the inside.
That's the worry now, there's a lot of catchers there, isn't there?
And I think the yellows is going to the blue.
It's not a perfect picture. I'll take that out of the way so you can see yellow sitting short. Blue second, yellow third.
Possibly blue second, third.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think I'd rather be in yellow's shoes at the moment there.
I would say so, and that yellow's not going anywhere this end now, is it? Famous last words, but
I'll tell you what, that is not a good stone.
Could be famous last words for that yellow stone. Yeah, I think to hit that roll across. Just try and...
I think the worst, that was just about the worst stone you could play there, hitting the guard.
Yeah.
Missing the guard by even a stone was better.
So I'm sure she's probably aware of.
Yes, I would have thought so now. I think our partner will be making her aware of that at the moment. So I think I've got it right this time. I think there'll be 2 blue stones to come and 1 yellow.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's slightly confusing with playing different formations here.
There must be a technology that, I don't know, marks a stone down when it goes over the hog line or something. That's one for clutch curling.
Yeah, we'll leave that for another day.
So let's look out for a wee tap back here and roll the shooter out, so keep the yellows in about the line they are, get rid of the back yellow, roll out of the way and leave it so that that yellow now can depart the house.
Unfortunately, I would think yellows will put one in among the blues to try and draw around to lie right on the blues.
I think you're right, Kenny, but they're going to come right into that pocket, aren't they? So you're always going to have a shot for a 1 now.
Yeah.
There's space to get a 1, which a couple of stones ago didn't look like it was going to be overly easy. So yeah, the Hungarians have maybe just let the Estonians back into this end. We've got some backup on the commentary, Kenny. John Graham, John Graham joining us.
Hi folks out there. I've been busy, so I haven't even seen any of these games.
I think you need to tell everybody what you were busy at, John, surely.
I was putting water on the ice and then taking the snow off, so, along with lots of others.
It's a pretty nice result there. That yellow is absolutely welded in there.
I think you've got the blues, the Estonians here have got a draw for a 1.
Yeah.
tie the game up at 1-1.
A little high.
What, not draw at the end there?
Yeah, I think it will. Still looking a wee touch high.
Roll off.
I'm quite happy at that. It looks like it's locked into that yellow.
I think it was 1 blue.
I would agree. I'd just move the camera in preparation for the next end as well. We could have had a really good. We could have had a good shot at that. There you go. So we call him 1 blue. Are we all confident enough for that?
I'm
Silence.
calling 1 blue.
Yeah, you're right.
One of the things I've noticed about the mixed doubles is that when they're getting prepared for the end, they don't waste any time at all. Straight in, getting the stones placed and then straight on.
Yeah, it's quite interesting compared to our local ice rink league, where we generally stand about waiting for the other person to go and put the stones up. Both players, generally speaking, head up to place the stones.
These teams will be playing these competitions every weekend, so it'll be standard practice that they'll want to get their games played, because sometimes they'll be playing 3 games a day.
Yeah, play 3 games. Sometimes, I think everybody actually played 3 games yesterday, didn't they? Yeah, there's quite a few triple knockouts in mixed doubles now as well, so
that does get confusing.
It's on the option table for next year.
Good first stone there by the Estonian girl.
They might have just liked it this side of the 4 foot, you know, just so that couldn't lie just on top of it.
There's 2 fairly good mixed double stones.
Right. I would take either of them as a partner.
I would take that every second shot.
So anyway, we're now looking to lie up against that yellow on the right hand side there. One of the things that I've noticed over the last yesterday and today is that see some of the last shots that's played, some real power shots in that. And you've really got to get stones locked in, because see when some of these power shots come up to clear the take control of the head, if they're not locked in, they're just moving. It's like a butterfly wings opening, stones everywhere, just a wee bit heavy. It'll be interesting to see whether the yellow comes down the right hand side or the left hand side here.
My initial thought's the right, just to use the catchers.
Use the blues.
It's all about creating angles as well. You don't. I think the problem with coming down the left hand side is all the yellows can then disappear to the left.
Aye, valid point.
Because you've got that blue guard out front, so coming down the other way, coming down the left and overswinging onto the right might work.
Just a slight touch in front blue.
Yeah,
folding over the
back onto the inside. Yep. It's one of the I suppose it is one of the criticisms of mixed doubles that a lot of ends tend to be slightly similar. There's still plenty of stones about. Still good to watch.
Just lying in the face of the them will be very good.
I think they look to swing just to get that blue, because if that didn't swing, that blue doesn't go back, so they've now got rid of one of them blues to the back of the 8 foot.
I think the Estonians are coming the other hand here, just drawing to the nest.
Yeah, I think that yellow just rolling across closes the door on the right hand side as we look at it. Estonians out turn.
I was just speaking to Judith McCleary there and asked her why she wasn't down there, and she said that the difference was 4 centimetres.
I can believe that. There was some very tight draw shot measurements.
And that's what it come down to. So it's been a really tight competition when it ends up coming down to that.
It's always harsh going out on draw shots, but that's always the feedback we get, because other than that it's playoff after playoff, so it's a nice shot.
That blue's going, if yellows do hit it at all on the right hand side, just going into the 2 yellows.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to shift that one.
Possibly could come in the other hand, just you possibly come around in the other hand and just knock it back slightly, just full T weight.
Of course they might be prepared to actually burst on the right hand side. That would just spread the 2 yellows, open it up so that the blue could get put out the back.
Blue possibly a line 2 there.
That's just why I pulled that camera angle up. It's, I think they are line 2 there.
Right, but if you hit that front yellow with some weight, both of them yellows could go.
Both of the blues.
Sorry, both of the blues could go.
But you're losing 2 your own stones at the same time.
Risk versus reward.
There's going to have to be some weight to shift that blue. But no, I think you're right. I think it's sideways momentum onto it, isn't it? There is a gap, so it's not absolutely welded. Certainly what they're playing. The stones away at hit weight. It's all over the guard up. They were on that straight away. Now, what do the Estonians do now? Gut reaction, guard.
Half checked in the yellow.
Aye.
No mercy from you, pair, is there? That's what they're looking
Aggressive
at.
game, this. Oh, even right into there.
Even on that back right hand yellow would be a good one.
Thing is, if you're not checked, why would you bring it tight? If you're checking it, then bring it right in. But if you're not, then I suppose it's your own colour stone that's coming in. But
All will be revealed shortly.
that's the thing. Without a brush, you've very little idea what they're
That's
actually
what
doing.
I was just thinking. They should have an artificial brush so that you can actually just put it on the ice.
I wouldn't say the brush necessarily helps us either, but yeah, it's,
A pole and a sucker.
yeah, it gives us a clue anyway.
A pole and a sucker.
Sometimes you just got to watch what the players indicate prior to leaving the head.
I think it's essentially a guard they're going for, so this is overswinging, so I think they're just looking to leave as a guard now.
Not the worst shot. Not the worst shot. Looks as if they're going to try and catch the side of that stone there.
I think if you catch it thin, you could spring it.
No, I thought it would stay.
Are you thinking the thin on the blue, or
A quarter of the blue stone and both blues will go.
You can catch that blue at the back as well, I think.
But you need to be quite a heavy weight.
I think if you hit the, so Kenny, you're talking about hitting quarter of the blue on the right hand side as we look at that.
Aye.
I think if you do that, that blue pushes past the bottom yellow, but I'm not convinced the top blue goes. We're about to find out though.
Catching the yellow, sure.
Good call, David.
It didn't push as much as I thought it would, but so the back yellow's gone. The Hungarians with last stone here. The stone is going to have to be a wee bit careful. I suspect they'll move the yellow shot. Who do you think shot there? Blue?
Aye.
Put my money on blue anyway.
Aye.
I think at this point you've got to be wary of losing more than a 2.
What the Estonians have got to watch here is that that blue doesn't come forward. They are blue, aren't they?
Estonians are indeed blue. I think they spoke about freezing the back yellow. I think you might just be shot if you do that, but you certainly, there'd be no double if you freeze the back yellow.
What they need to watch here is that Hungarians don't hit the front blue straight forward and could lose it too that way.
Yeah, they could without another stone in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think though, as it stands, you could just about make contact with that yellow and hang around for a 3. So
yeah.
Which is why I think they're looking at this is just over swan. Maybe just looking to guard that shot.
Just a wee bit short.
It's still there though, isn't it?
It's still there actually.
Any kind
Doing
of
it
contact.
the opposite direction is what we were actually thought about.
Which is fairly safe. Although you need to make sure the blue leaves the house as well, though, the guard that you're, or the one in the top of the 8 foot that they're looking to hit up.
You possibly won't get a 3 now.
No, I think the 3's out the equation. Looking quite close. Well played.
It's an excellent shot there by the Hungarian. And you pick up a 2 at the third end.
You called that one, Kenny, from a fairly early point in the end. So.
Actually, I was thinking it the other way round, but the guard